Yeah. I have a problem with police officers. I can't help myself. I see them and I immediately turn into the biggest asshole I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it's just ingrained in me. I don't know what. It's just like, asshole, immediately. And when I was younger, there was a parked police car and I jumped in front of it and I was like, I see you, baby. Shaking that ass. And that's how white people dance, by the way. That move right there. That's me getting crazy. Woo! And the cop got out of his car and he was like, you know, I can arrest you for doing that. And I was like, what are you gonna do? Arrest me for dancing in the street, honey bear? And he was like, do not call me honey bear. And I said, what are you gonna do? Arrest me for calling you honey bear? Honey bear? And he did. Public intoxication and harassing an officer of the law. Yeah. True story, true story, true story. That was my first time that I got a little, but it was a small town, so they didn't really book me or anything crazy like that. But then I moved to Los Angeles, still an asshole, and I got arrested a second time. But this time, they put handcuffs on me and they put me in the back of the police car. And I have really small wrists, which is good for being a lesbian. Not good when you're drunk in the back of a police car, because I took my hands out of the handcuffs. And I didn't like bust out the back window and try to run or anything like that. I just proudly presented it to the officer. And he was like, don't do that. And he put them back on. So I did it again. But to really nail the last nail in the coffin, I said, if I can do this twice, you must be new at your job. Right? So they booked me, and I spent 12 hours and 6 minutes in jail. And it was one of the most horrific experiences I've ever had in my entire life. I was traumatized. But a couple months later, I went to court, and the judge informed me that any time over 12 hours in jail counts as 1 day of prison. I've done prison time. Nice. What? I am a gangster. I will cut a bitch. No. I am what's known in the gay community as a false advertiser. I look like a little boy on the outside, inside raging queen. Raging West Hollywood, bring me to a piano bar, let me throw out jazz hands, queen. I am a queen. Like honestly, like, I might date a girl and I'll open up the door for her, but say that we were walking down the street and a monster came at us, I would throw her at the monster so that I could run away faster. I'm not a protector at all. And the really crappy thing about being a false advertiser is I get in these really unhealthy relationships, and then my low self-esteem keeps me in them. I know, I get some good ones. I was recently dating this girl, we were going together for 9 months, and I was like, baby, I've got a show tonight, you should come. And she said, don't take this personally, but I don't really like comedians. I'm a comedian. So we dated for 2 more months, because I really saw self-esteem and she was really good in bed. It was hard, it was hard. And then if you can believe this, I also dated a Los Angeles police officer. Yes, that was fun. We were together for 1.5 years when I met her boyfriend of 3 years. Oh, I do this for pity, because when you pity me, you might sleep with me afterwards. That's why I tell that story. And the worst part about dating her for 1.5 years was, for that entire 1.5 years, the sex could have been so much better if I knew I was sleeping with a straight girl. Like just, oh, I hate you. Like, it's awful. But my worst experience ever with a woman, I was really young, I have to say this, and I have to admit also that I'm vanilla, and I mean that sexually, like I am plain and simple. Might be vanilla bean on like a crazy night, woo! You know, might get a little crazy, like maybe I'll do Liza, you know, something wild, but that's about it. But this girl was like into some crazy stuff. Like, I am talking like hog-tied, ball gag. But I had really low self-esteem, so I wanted to make the relationship work, so I took a class. And I'm not talking about like a tutorial class where I take notes. This was like a hands-on lab class, where there was a man the first day, naked on all fours. And the lesson was ball binding and dominatrix speech. So after I bound his balls, I was practicing my speech while flogging, and I was like, "You've been a bad boy, haven't you?" "Yes." And Mistress Pandora was like, "Stop. This man works on Wall Street. He has to answer questions all day long. All you do here is make statements, no questions." So I was like, "You're bad. You work on Wall Street. You're bad." Needless to say, I did not get my dominatrix diploma.